What up, though? How y'all doing?
Welcome to hashtag GD and me. We are live. Marriage makes three.
Dot
Right here with
com.
you.
We're here. So where are you? Hey, Lady Stephanie. God bless you, woman of God. Thank you for coming in and joining us tonight. So listen, guys, come on in here, invite someone, share the broadcast, let the people know that we are indeed on. Amen. We're here tonight. We are on trust issues. We started talking about this last night. So we're on part number 2, dealing with trust. Who can we trust? Why should we trust them? Why don't we trust them? How can we get past this and all of that, right? And so we want to go back in and let's get back into this tonight. But before we do, I'm going to ask that if you're in here, that you would go ahead and share the broadcast. Matter of fact, I'm going to share it first. How about that? Right. I'm not going to ask y'all to do nothing that I'm not willing to do.
All right.
That's
awesome.
So here, you're going to share yours too?
I'm going to share it too. You all come on in.
We love you, darling.
Share. Appreciate you.
She said, hello, parents. I love it. So we're in here like swimwear. We want you to come and hang out with us tonight. We are making sure that we are doing what we have promised. We said that we are here Tuesday through Thursday between 9:30-ish Central Standard Time. And here we are. Here they are. Here they be. Right? We be here. Where you be? How about that?
You?
We're not lying. No, we really wouldn't. I mean,
Sweet Auntie Cooks is here with
us.
Hey,
Sweet Auntie.
This evening.
Thank you for coming,
cooking,
darling. So, go on in, and I want you all to remember, and this is what I wanted to say. Last night, we told you guys about the blog. Did you all know that we have a blog over on marriagemakesthenumber3.com? Come on, lashes, blink, blink, blink. Come on, hey! Y'all know that we have the blog. Well, if you don't know, now you know. So go to Marriage Makes 3 tonight. And this is the challenge that I have for you all tonight. If you all would please, ma'am. Thank you. She says she loves my lipstick. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, let me share this with you so that you can see what I'm talking about. So we've got the blog, right? You see that? We've got the blog. We got the whole, but we even have a vlog too. But, we'll talk about that another time. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify. We are on, we are where you want to be, just like American Express, right? So tonight on the blog, what I would like for you all to do is scroll and look for this question. What do men look for in a woman? Okay. There's a whole article that we have there about that. What does a man look for in a woman? But what we want you guys to do, there's a spot there that you can put a response. You can like it. You can share it. You know what I'm saying?
And so, a man looks for a woman.
Hello, what is he looking for? We want to hear your comments as far as first. Do this first. Add the comment first, and then read the article, and let us know how your answers match up with ours.
Add comment.
Right?
Read article.
Yes. Nothing cooking here hungry, but in culinary uncertainty. When we just finished eating, we ended up having to go out because we had a whole bunch of stuff to do. We were blessed. Blessed with some chickens. And one of our sisters at church, she said, now, you know, I'm not going to turn down no chicken. She said chicken, y'all. She said chicken.
Chicken. Shiken.
I'm not turning down no chicken. So bring them on. So we did that. We were blessed. And because we had the blessing in our hand, we were able to then bless someone else. And there's another person that we're going to be blessing as well. Right. She said they are looking for loyalty. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for dropping that in there. And that's true.
Good.
And now that we're dealing with this and talking about trust issues, that's one of those areas of trust. Because if you ain't loyal, listen, that means I can't trust you.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost and number one.
And we're not going to get far.
No. At some point or another, there's going to be those opportunities where you can be loyal or you can be disloyal. And so what you want to do is be around people that you know that are loyal so that when you need loyalty and you can also display that same type of loyalty. All right. So again, the blog, marriagemakesthenumber3.com. Look for what does a man look for in a woman. right?
Okay.
Looking for something, looking for things they don't possess themselves. It's true, sweet auntie. You're right. You're absolutely right. All right. So we're going in tonight, honey. And could you just give them just like a quick recap from last night, what we talked about?
So last night we talked about what you mean, trust issues, and we looked at some of the evidences of mistrust or the inability to trust. And that was number one, with that inability just cannot trust. Period. You know, that may be any number of different people. So you're asking a lot of questions to confirm, is this really the time you're going to come? Are you sure you're going to come? And that's the bottom line. The inability to move forward. You're in limbo. You cannot commit. You can't pop the question, you know. Even after you pop the question, there's still a whole lot of years between actually going to the altar. You cannot surrender. You don't want to give. You have a hard time giving and receiving. You're just afraid. And so you are continually testing
the waters, right?
To see.
And we did say also that testing is not a bad thing in the beginning, but you have to be balanced. If you are overly suspicious, if you are paranoid, if you are constantly badgering the person, where you been, what you doing, where you was with, who were you with,
and so what you end up doing is running them away from you.
It's true.
And we said that sometimes if you're constantly pushing people away, that can be an evidence of a self-fulfilling prophecy. You've got a mindset that I'm never going to have anybody. I'm never going to have a relationship that's quality. There are no good men's or women out there. So, and I'm never going to have one of them.
I see that.
So you have to know where you are.
True.
And that's the most critical thing out of this, is recognizing that I do have these trust issues. I have these issues where I'm not fulfilled. Where I'm hurting, or where I'm afraid. And to move forward in those, you have to begin to take some action. You just can't stay in that situation.
Right. Amen.
Or
Just the self-sabotage. And that's exactly what ends up happening, is we will sabotage ourselves. And the very thing that we say that we want, we begin to repel because we're not doing it the right way. So come on. She said abandonment. I love it. I love it. Queen Stephanie is on. She is on point tonight. Queenie. Sugar pudding. Yes. So again, invite someone, share the broadcast, let them know that we are here. We are coming in tonight from dealing with a whole lot of stuff this last week, y'all. We're working on our books. We're working on the church. We went through Giving Tuesday, and thank you, Brother Robert. Thank you, Brother Robert. Thank you, Brother Robert, for sowing into the ministry at Tribe Judah Ministries at bit.ly/TJM donate. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Y'all don't know that it encourages us when someone says that, you know, what you're doing it matters. It means something, and I'm getting something from it. And I'm willing to not just say, bully for you, but I'm willing to put something to it. In it. Exactly. So thank you so much for those of you that are doing that. And if you have not yet gone over and checked out some of the other things that we have, some of the stuff is free for before I do and after I do. And so one of the things that we do for free that you can go get all the articles, all the information is at the blog. MarriageMakes3.com. You'll see it up the top. You just click on blog and it'll pull it up. All right. So tonight, what you mean trust issues?
Pleasant evening to you.
Hey, good everybody.
Good evening to you. Thank you for our friends who are always here with us. Whenever we're here, you're here.
Yes.
And we want you to know that we appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
And so, what do you mean trust issues? What do you mean I got trust issues? Okay. Why
do you have trust issues? Where does this come from?
That's the question for the evening.
Yes. Where does this originate? How do we recognize them? What are the triggers, Marta, the smarter? What are the triggers?
Marta.
How do we get to this place? Because I don't believe that we just naturally come here distrustful.
That's
all right.
True.
We don't naturally come here just not trusting anybody. Most of the time when we have trust issues, it has something to do with being burnt by one or more people. And that causes us to then develop this thing that we keep going and keep carrying into new and different relationships.
Can I borrow from Stephanie Watt here in IG Land? Said something earlier, abandonment issues. And that's one of the key sources, one of the key reasons why people have trust issues. It may be that a loved one who, through no fault of their own, departed this life. Maybe in a formative part, in a part where we were very vulnerable, they left us, right? And so now we are, and so now we're left with this feeling of someone that I trusted in, who I really had confidence in, who was walking with me through this thing called life, is no longer with me. And I'm kind of in a place where I'm lost. Right.
And it happens. It absolutely does. Because when you have someone in your life that has helped to guide you and to mold you and make you and things of that nature, and now they're gone, it's like, who else am I going to? I mean, it's like, for me, for example, when my grandfather passed, it was like, oh my God, who am I going to make these funny jokes with? Who's going to talk to me about this and that and the other? I don't know of another person. When I changed spiritual parentage, right? It was kind of like, it took a little bit like, okay, wait a minute. Is this really what I want to do? Is this really who I'm supposed to be with? Because they have done some things in the past that now cast a negative light, right, on the other people that need to come into my life.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, my family up in here. Come on, family.
Thank you, mi familia.
It has cast it. It's like the Old Testament foreshadows the New Testament. So there's that shadow there. And for some reason, the past sometimes has a way of shadowing our present and our future.
So we end up making a decision based upon something that was already kind of as a shadow over our psyche. So sometimes, just for the sake of having someone to fill that square, or that person is missing in my life, I will accept whatever comes along in order to say that I have somebody. That's really powerful, and I want us to talk about that a little bit more in detail. Hello, everybody. Hey, Ja.
Danielle McKenzie is with us. Jawaru. How are you, man of God? We see Miss Deidre.
Hey,
love
Deidre.
you, darling. Appreciate you all. Thank you, Kimmy, for joining us tonight.
Love y'all. So the other night, my wife,
what I did,
has a habit of putting movies on while I'm trying to sleep, right? I mean, and good movies. She comes up with these things that just are really riveting when I'm trying to go to sleep, or when we both should sleep, I should say. So the other night, there's a movie on, and some of you will recognize it. It's called Bruised. I remembered the name because I asked her probably 3 times, what's the name of this? Right? Bruised. How many, if you've seen it, put a 1 in the chat.
Elder,
hello, Elder,
love you. Elder,
love you.
My throat. Listen, Elder, I'm here for my throat. Thank you so much. I love you guys. I love it. Yes, Elder Irene is with us tonight. We're talking about trust issues. We also asked that everyone would go over to the blog at marriagemakes3.com. And the question that we want you all to answer in the comments is, what do men look for in a woman? I know we're talking about trust issues tonight, but one of the things that we want you all to do is go over, put your information down, put your comment in, and then after that, read the article and tell us how we match up, okay? Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with us, all right? Cool. Trust issues, part number 2.
So we're talking about the movie, Bruised. What's her name?
Halle
Berry. Why can't I remember her name? Halle Berry is starring.
Yes.
There's a young boy, a young man, I'm saying a little boy.
Yes, like
who
7, 8.
Acts his face off through the movie. He has 3 lines, three
words.
words.
Yep.
3 words in the whole movie, right? So what happens is, and if you've seen it, if you've not seen it, pardon me for messing up your Jewish. But anyway, there's 3 words that he has in the whole movie. And they're toward the end of the movie. But he doesn't talk through the movie because he's been traumatized by his father's death. Right? He had this life-altering experience that caused him to go into a place of silence for a length of time because he was abandoned by someone that he loved and in a very traumatic way. Yes. All right. Are you all getting this? So he's abandoned, so he goes into a silent mode. And it seems like at one time he really wants to say something, but he's unable to get it out because he's at such a place of hurt and mistrust. He doesn't know who can I trust? Who can I trust? Who's going to turn on me, right? And there are really, if you've not seen this, make sure that you get
Danielle, you saw it? Did you see it, Danielle?
So, but anyway, he goes into silent mode, and it's based upon abandonment. Yeah. Here, a mother who had abandoned him earlier, and now the father has been taken away from him. Tragically. Yeah. And so he has trust issues.
He does.
And how do we get them? That's what we're talking about. How do
Kim
we get
says it sounds similar to I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Yes. Okay. All right. And so everybody has an opportunity to end up in these fashions, but we have to know that there's a way to come out of it. We're going to talk about that tomorrow night, because I know we're kind of here tonight. We're just trying to
building up
to it, right? And so we want you to know, though, that if you are one of those that's dealing with something like that, don't wait till tomorrow night. Inbox us, let us know, and we will be happy. We'll be absolutely privileged and honored to pray for you and with you through this, because I know that sometimes this stuff will mess us up big time for a long time. And what that young boy was dealing with is, I'm young, I'm moldable, I need to see what's going on, I'm traumatized, right? When we're traumatized over something that someone's done, and we become traumatized in different ways. Some of us, we become traumatized, and we're gonna go ahead and start. So one way that we become a little triggered, a little traumatized, we develop trust issues, is when we have been in a marriage, right? And we may have had to have gone through a divorce or going through a divorce.
So, and it may not be the divorce that causes it.
True.
Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's the marriage. Oh, now we're gonna drop the mic on that one, right?
Listen,
that's an eye opener. Sometimes it's the marriage that causes the trust issues.
PTSD, yes, Stephanie. I was telling you guys last night that we were in the house and we heard helicopters flying over. And I was like, wait a minute, what is this? And then I heard it a second time. And I'm like, Gregory Dale, did you hear that? Because inside of my brain, I think something snapped and it said, you remember we were in Panama. I was in Panama when we heard mortar fire, and then we heard helicopters and stuff. I'm like, why is it? I used to work in the munition storage area, so I knew what the stuff sounded like, right? And so I'm hearing this. I'm in the military. She said, Dad, you meant I'm in the military. I know what this sounds like. And so when I heard that last night over my home here in these United States, it was like, hold on, wait a minute. Automatically pulled me back to that space where I was dealing with this. Like, what is happening? I need to know, because do we need to take cover? Do I need to make sure my children are okay? Where is Gregory? These are things that we need to know. And sometimes, like you were saying, that marriage, because the person was a liar, a cheater, or,
unreliable,
stole a thief, an abuser, or whatever the case might be, we may be dealing with trust issues because we're we've gone through a marriage that the other person did not treat us the way that they had supposed to had as a spouse, as a husband, as a wife. She said, trigger warning. Yes, we need to see healthy relationships and bonds. Yes, Kimmy doll. And it makes a difference.
Now, we should tell you to disarm you, let you know that we're okay.
Yes.
That it's not typical for helicopters to make their pathway right over our roof. But there is a helicopter plant a few miles down the road from us near our airport that build helicopters and drones and those kinds of things. So, but
this is a residential
this is still
area.
unusual.
I'm gonna need y'all not to do that.
That's right. Fly.
Okay.
No fly zone.
No fly zone.
Go
not over our house. Okay. Go somewhere else. Amen. Yeah. She said, Danielle says to come on now, preach, Pastor. Ja says, when I was TDY is temporary duty for those of you that don't know the jargon. When he was TDY to LA, I had to get used to the constant police copters. Goodness. Yes.
Same here, John.
Yes.
I spent one night at my brother's in the 80s, and I didn't want to spend
another night.
I love my brother, but
y'all got to move.
I didn't sleep at all last night.
You're so silly. All right. So sometimes it's the relationship in the marriage. I'm sorry, go ahead. We're going to say something else?
Okay, we are 35 minutes from a base, but this is a helicopter place that builds them right down the road.
A civilian place. All right. So some of us, we're dealing with trust issues because of a marriage or relationship that we have been in for any length of time that has taught us that, you know what, this might not be, maybe it's the institution that we're dealing with that causes this, but I'm leery. And this is why some people, honey, are having a hard time moving from I'm in a relationship to I want to be married. Okay, because of some of the stuff that we've already dealt with. I've seen this before. Oh, so you gonna wait till we get married and you want to flip the script on me? I'm not finna do it. I'm gonna wait and see.
I'm gonna watch a while.
Yeah, like for 10 years or 20 years. You ain't finna watch me that long, baby. You ain't got enough eyes to watch me that long. Okay, period. So
abandonment and divorce.
Divorce.
Abandonment could be through divorce, could be through death of a loved one.
True.
Or maybe they went to get a pack of cigarettes and pick up some bread and milk.
And they never came back. I was watching what's her name today? Divorce Court. And that's exactly
oh my God.
Exactly what
y'all don't believe. She said, I'm cutting off them toes.
No, Lady Stephanie has a foot fetish. I don't know if it's a fetish, it's just a foot. If you are going to be a man, you have to have a certain. She is a connoisseur of men's feet, and if your feet ain't,
that don't sound right.
If your feet don't measure up,
she wants your feet to be right.
Yes, you can't have club toes and hammer toes.
Step to Miss Stephanie.
You got to come right. No hammer toes, no bunions. You can't be having them corns on the side. No. You can't. Your toenails can't be all crooked and stuff like that. She is not having any of that. But it's good to know those things ahead of time. So, before we even get too far into this, I want you to see. I want you to put on some sandals. We going to the park, and if he got on socks, he already disqualified.
It's a white socks all the way up to the shorts.
You already disqualified. It is what it is. All right. Josh says, I know folk grieve differently, but how you gonna blame the person that died for dying? And you mad. Josh, it happens all the time.
Some people are mad with God because someone took away.
You took that person that I loved away from me. But here's the thing. Sometimes, and let me say it like this. When you feel like someone is a big part of your life, and then they die, especially when it is like in a unexpected time frame. You're kind of like, oh my God, what happened? And so sometimes when you have unfinished business with that person, or unfinished conversation, or you all were just that close, what happens is that becomes a traumatic experience in your life. Hey, Brother Terry, and that thing will cause you to stop trusting people because you don't know when they're going to leave.
Yeah.
See, it's just like a divorce. Divorce and death is really close.
Yeah.
Okay, true. There's an intertwining there that happens, and when something is pulled away, whether it's, and listen, y'all, and it's whether you want the divorce or not. Okay, you may not want the divorce, or you may be like, "Oh, I can't wait to get divorced." Yeah. But both times, it feels like there's something pulling away.
It's a trauma.
It can be traumatic. Let's see. Sweet Auntie said, "No toes equal no walking away." I understand you, sis. She cutting off them toes. It is what it is. In divorce, and let me tell y'all something. We've got some folks out here that are super vindictive. Okay. And during a divorce, what happens could be worse than what was going on in the marriage. Okay. People show their whole entire behinds when it comes to divorce.
It really gets ugly.
It can.
Some people. They will come up with things that you didn't know you did.
Yep.
Or every kind of lie, every kind of story that and if anything negative that has ever come up with your life, it comes out in a becomes divorce. Fighting material.
Yep, it really does. And it's horrible. And I believe that's why God intended for us to have one spouse for our whole life, so we wouldn't have to go through some of these things. But guess what? It still happens. Some people are married, living in a whole house, been living together 32 years, and they can't stand one another. Right. And Elder Irene said, sound like someone looking for a home. Waiting so long to make a commitment. Yes, I don't want to get kicked out, so I'm gonna keep putting up the pipe dream that keep
letting you know, well, we're gonna get married
eventually, right? Ain't nobody got time.
And why should it be the one person's choice?
Yes, exactly. There's
how
two
long
people.
This is gonna.
That's right. That's right.
And when you no longer have a choice in it, there's something.
She said living in different bedrooms, and it's true. We've known these people. We know them. They're not married no more, but we know them. All right. So here it is. Divorce. Sometimes during the marriage, there's issues that ends up happening. Then the divorce, especially if it's a bad breakup and divorce and separation, then things come out that you never would have thought that the other person that you laid down with, or had children with, or lived with, or said I do to, could have absolutely done to you and said to you. And so now you start believing like, well, maybe all of them are like that. And this is why we hear the statements that all men are what they say, all men are dogs. Right? Bow wow wow, yippee-yi, yippee-yo, bow wow, yippee-yi, yippee-yo. Yes. But guess what? All men are not dogs. And so we end up stereotyping and putting everybody in the same pot, even
because of the hurt
and the issues of trust that we have.
Absolutely. And so sometimes the least little hurt, if you start to put everybody in that class, everybody in that category, you need to go and get some help.
Yes.
You need to get some counseling. Help me to work through this. Get in a group where people are not, where it's all negative, and somebody can steer you right back in the right direction. True. Because if you married the wrong person the first time, and if you're with the wrong person right now, that means the right one is still out there,
waiting and looking.
And you need to get it together before.
Yeah, you go back out. Yes. Stephanie says either a two-legged or a four-legged, as my aunt would say. Yes. Dog. A dog. Yes, ma'am. Understood. All right. So what's the next one, honey?
So the abandonment may be a spouse. Apostle. Hello.
Hi,
love
Apostle.
You. Appreciate you so very much. So this may be the abandonment may come from a spouse, but again, it may come from a previous family member or something like that. We have to understand that these things can get into the psyche and can carry over, and can have a long-term impact.
Yes.
Okay. And so you want to work through that. If it's counseling, whatever's necessary. Love you.
Sweet Auntie says it's so true, and it cuts really deep when the person they said I do. It cuts so deep. Yes, with words or their actions.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time, y'all. I mean, you should hear some of the stuff we hear just in counseling. With a couple that say they love each other. You be like, why are y'all even together? Do you even like one another? And sometimes that's what happens, is that we fall out of like. We love the person, but we really don't like them anymore because someone has grown and someone has changed, and the other person has remained stagnant. And so now they're looking at the person like, you're not the one I married. No, but you shouldn't be either.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And so you want to marry someone who is growing. You have the potential to grow together. If there's no growth, that the person is, and sometimes we get sedentary. We get kind of set. And, I'm comfortable the way I am. And I don't plan to change anything. I wanted to live in the same house. But if the person isn't wanting to change something, now there's some things that are, that are perfectly okay. You have to know what your level of tolerance is for this thing.
True.
There's nothing wrong with being in the same house, in the same neighborhood.
For 20 years or 50 years or 100 years, right?
As long as you have the ability to get up and get on a plane or to go to another city, drive to another place. Those are the people who are going to live longer. Those who are willing to move beyond the four walls of their house.
Comfort zones are graveyards.
Oh my goodness.
Dad said
dreams.
Something. Yes. Dad said something about this just recently, that comfort zones are graveyards of visions and dreams. That's what he said. Y'all remember our story. My dad left the marriage to be with men. Precisely. You see that? That's traumatic.
I'm sorry. Absolutely.
You have to deal with, you're talking about, so, oh my God. Not only is the relationship jacked up, but now, not just the marriage, but now, are you my mom? Are you my dad? What is going on here? There's a lot of stuff that we have to come through. Unless I know one thing, if them feet ain't right, divorce, here I come. You are a mess. I love it. So John says some couples get so used to cussing and being mean to each other, I don't think they realize how it looks. You're right. We've seen them in public wondering, why are they together? Very good questions sometimes. And they don't even know. You just get so used to being in dysfunction. That dysfunction becomes normal for you. Right? Yes, Lord. All right. So we've got what? Divorce, abandonment,
betrayal, a cheating spouse.
Yes, all of that.
You never know if they're going to be where they told you they're going to be.
Oh my God.
Or how long they're going to be there. If I tell you I'm going to be at home at 6, 2 or 3 in the morning, maybe the case, or 5. And you don't know what state that I'm going to be when I get there.
Like with some cock and bull story. Y'all remember Fred Sanford? Y'all remember what's her name? Aunt Esther. She was like, you come in here with some kind of cock and bull story talking about you was at the store. You weren't at nobody's store. What store open at this time of the night? You need to stop it. Amen. Yeah. She said betrayal. Yes, betrayal. Yeah. It'll mess you up, and it will help you on the way to developing trust issues. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with being cautious. Fear is healthy, and fear can also be detrimental.
Absolutely.
Okay. What about emotional affairs? Stephanie says internet, porn, etc. Absolutely.
Same thing.
Yes.
If I am spending my emotional chips with someone online and I'm carrying on, or at the office, if I'm a man and I have limited words, and men tend to have limited words, if I'm using all of my words at with Miss Phyllis at the office because she's fun to talk to, right? She doesn't give me any lip. She doesn't give me any back talk. She doesn't expect me to do any chores. I don't. And so I'm spending all of my emotion with her. So when I come home,
you ain't got nothing to give.
I don't want to talk.
She said, also known as the work wives and the work husbands. Yes. So, Elder said the lock will be changed.
Come on. You cannot do these things without some consequences.
Right. Yeah.
And if your relationship at home is going to be suffering, that means your children do not have a good example of what a father and mother, what a relationship is supposed to look like. And so what are they going to end up looking like?
Right.
Looking for?
Yeah. Okay? That's what it is.
If little Johnny ends up looking at Uncle Ralph and thinking, oh, you know, I need an older man in my life instead of a woman in my life. Right. Oh, that's how things get all jacked up because we have to have a good example at home. We have to have good examples. It's so very critical. Betrayal, a cheating spouse. Again, we never know how long he's going to be out or how long, if he's going to ever come home again.
Right.
And so kids sometimes feel abandoned and the mate feels abandoned.
Yeah. And
even though they're
even though they're still living.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the devil is a lie.
And a death would be easier. It may be easier for me to get past
a person being gone.
Maybe she died and she's in heaven now.
Right. Yes.
As opposed to wondering
where at exactly. You down the road.
Who she's with.
Right.
And how long, if she's going to ever come home again.
Yep.
How long should the cheater, thank you, John, for the question, who is mending their ways in the marriage, report back to the other person?
It can't be forever, can it? No, it shouldn't be forever. It shouldn't be. But guess what? Here's the issue. There's a lot of us that we refuse to put in the work to get that trust back. Once trust is broken, it's not impossible to get back, but it is hard. Remember what I told y'all just the other night? Whenever there's an infraction, right? The infraction, even though it might have just been one time, it kind of overshadows everything else. Because you have to remember, in the mind of the person that has been betrayed, they are now dealing with the unknowns, the uncertainties. Well, what happened? What was wrong with me? How did this happen? Well, where were you when you said you were here? Well, were you really there when this happened? And what we do in counseling is that we have to put in some parameters and some boundaries. And what we have to make sure is that the offending party, that they're going to be okay with this. You're going to listen. I don't care what you say, what you do, prayer works and all of that. We can cast out the devil. We can say that we're good. I'm delivered. Right? We can say that. And yes, it's true, but you also have to walk this thing out on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
And depending upon how deep the infraction is going to depend on how long it might take to get the trust back in place and the person that you have betrayed.
Absolutely. And things will happen that will trigger that same response that you had from the helicopters flying overhead. It may be the whiff of a cologne. It may be the way you look longingly down the road. It may be something ever so simple that causes me for a moment to wonder if there's a possibility that you're cheating again. Right? And so it's so critical. And that's why if you're in a relationship with somebody, cheating should be the last thing on your mind. It happens.
It does.
It happens. But if it's happened regularly in your relationship, you need Jesus more than on Sunday and Wednesday. I'm serious. If there's anything that can deliver you, you need to go ahead and get that right now. Why you still
say you need Jesus?
He's the answer. He's the answer.
I wasn't ready. I mean, you're right, but I wasn't ready.
If people are, like you said, honey, if people are not putting in the work, and a lot of people go to church, but they don't put in the work.
Right. You want to come to the altar and get delivered. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Slobber right? And cry all over the altar one time. But
then you go right back out and you start doing the same mess and start
go back to the same club where they set you up before with a girl. Or with a guy or whatever it was.
She said the next thing you know, he or she snapped. Yep. Murder and life in the pen.
Burning bed.
The burning bed. Yes. John, let's see. Kim says, but the person who caused the infraction will have to give the other party time to get through it. And that's exactly what we were saying.
Get over this? Because you're still doing the same crazy behavior.
Yep.
And anytime you take that attitude with me, when are you going to get over this? You know, where's your empathy? Where is your sympathy? Where is your repentance for what you did? You know, you have to accept ownership for what you caused.
Yes. Period.
You did this.
And you haven't apologized to their spouse. She says it's true, Pastor G. Listen, there's a whole, if you have not yet, we have it. It's over there. You can get Overcoming Infidelity. We go through all of these things in that particular book. It's over there on, where is it? On Amazon.
That's
Check our marriagemakes3.com and you'll be able to find it there as well. There's a free download that you'll be able to use that comes from that. But let me tell you something. For the most part, you need someone in your corner. When you are dealing with this, there's some things that you have to decide before you come back together with this person, right? And that's what the book is there for. You find out that this person committed adultery, there was infidelity, there was cheating. What's my next step? Because a lot of times we want to either fly off the handle or we want to blame ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what that book is going to do is it's going to help you to realize where you stand, what you want to do, so you can make the decisions along the way. And this is before you go tell mama and them, before you go tell your girlfriends and them, because listen, you have to make some decisions before the time you deal with this. And you may need someone in your corner that is going to help you to go through it, because whether you decide to stay or you decide to go, someone is going to have to give you another perspective that's outside of the emotion, that's outside of the anger, that's outside of the mistrust, that is going to be able to give you some facts, some figures, going to be able to give you some strategies, because you're going to deal with this.
Yeah.
It's going to come at you at the worst possible times. You'll be sitting there eating a bowl of popcorn. Next thing you know, you thinking about this Negro done left out of here, talking about he went to work, and all the time, Lakita, he was over there with Sister Sookie doing what he and her wanted to do. And now you want to be all up in my face. And it's like, whoa, wait. You got to reel yourself back in, because the enemy will take whatever is on you and he will cause that thing to be magnified. It may be an emotional affair, and there's different types of affairs as well. Let's see.
Hi, Lakita. Welcome to the
podcast. I'm out. It is way too many diseases out here to be dealing with that. Okay. I want to be like Flip Wilson. The devil made me do it.
Okay.
She said out here with Shay Bo. Listen, we're not out here. We're not going to be doing that kind of stuff. And so this is why we do what we do, because we know that people need support. And sometimes, even if you, like we said, if you want the divorce, we're here to support you in that. It's not the perfect will, but you know what? You have to make a decision on what you want to do. If it's the first time or it's this time, okay, can we ensure there's not going to be a next time?
Yeah.
Or if it's this time and you say, that's it, I'm out, I'm done with you, you need to make sure that you're done. Because I've counseled with women, especially, that say, that's it, I'm done with him. I don't want nothing to do with him no more. He can kiss my natural black. Okay? And then 3 months later, they start getting lonely. They start remembering the good time for the good time.
And you call and check on them, and they're laughing, and you hear a voice in the room, a familiar voice.
Okay.
You know? And so you're upset with them. Everybody upset with them, but she's right back in the good.
Yep. My grandmother used to say, stay out the husband and wife business, because them gonna be in the bed sleeping and breathing in each other's face. And you out here, you still mad. Listen, I ain't trying to do that, right? But they pay us, so I can do that.
So we want to know You know, what is it going to take to make you whole?
Yes.
And that person needs to know what it's going to take you.
It's in a voice in the room. Yes.
You hear them laughing at Netflix. I'm doing fine. I'm doing good.
I thought you said you
I know why
you're
doing good. You ready to commit suicide yesterday. But now
you got an itch.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's got to be, she said, stay out of my bed. And it's got to be more than an itch. And you have to make those decisions. Listen, people mess up. And I hear people say stuff like cheaters are always going to cheat. No, it's not true. Cheaters don't always cheat. Sometimes it's something going on with them. Something could be in their lineage that they're dealing with.
Mistakes.
Y'all remember there was a whole King David. Okay. King David had some issues going on and he needed to be delivered and then to practice righteousness. It's a way to do everything, but we have to get to the root of it. And sometimes that's what's left out, is where the root is. What's in the root? Because the root is always going to determine what the fruit is going to look like.
Come on, baby. Come on. And see, we go right back to bruised because of what the lead character had gone through as a child. It caused her to end up making mistakes and abandoning her son. Which caused him to be in a situation where, number one, he felt abandoned by his mom. So now dad is killed tragically, and he's dealing with that too. And mom comes back, but he still doesn't know that he can deal with mom. And so he doesn't talk for the entire movie. Look, if art imitates life, and it does, then we know that there's truth in that thing.
And it's true.
And we have to learn to fix this thing before we get into the next relationship. Let's cover one other area, and then we're going to get ready to get out of here.
Elder said, a lie don't care who tell it.
Come on.
It's the truth, Elder. And Danielle is over here eating fruit and rum cake, so she being silly. It is what it is. Cake. David was lusting after another man's woman, after his wife. That's right. From the Rudy to the Fruity. I tell you, so silly. Boy, that David name is something. Yes, be careful with the name you give your children, because sometimes it makes a difference. You know, the native peoples, the indigenous peoples, you don't even get a whole real name until you've been living for a little while. Because they want to see what's in you. And all over the scripture, the names mean something. You know, we just pull stuff out the air that we just like it. You know, some of y'all, that dark rum, you start naming your children after that dark rum, you know, Chardonnay.
And some of these kids in school sitting around writing on paper, my baby name gonna be, and you need to get out of school. Get your little tail in your books. Get your mind in your books. You know? Get your lessons. Get out of school. Go to college.
Yes, all of that.
You want to have a baby before you have a husband, before you have a life, before you have a job.
Come on.
And we have to change the narrative, folks.
Yep.
All right.
Talking about my name Courvoisier. What? What are you talking about? No, sir.
Can't even spell it.
Oh, hello. All right. So let's move to the next one so we can get y'all get out of here. We can get out of here.
Okay.
All right.
Now, there are a lot of other areas of sources of trust issues. But the last one we want to talk about is areas of abuse.
Okay.
Areas of abuse. One of those areas is the very one that you pointed at.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's abusive when I say things, you say things to me, and I use those things against you. You reveal secrets to me. You reveal areas of hurt to me. You know, you don't like that your belly, you know, your belly button is an Audi. Okay. I'm not talking about my wife now. Okay. She doesn't like it that her belly button is an Audi. And so when I'm a little bit passive aggressive, a little bit upset with her, I say something about her belly button.
Y'all.
And I know that's a sore spot.
Listen, okay.
Right?
I don't like the way that my boobs sit. right? I don't like and didn't have a child until I was 21. I wrote a whole name book when I was 16. Wow, I didn't have a child until I was 21. Listen, there are places on your husband or your wife that they might feel insecure about. And what ends up happening is if when you start using, exposing them, especially to the world, about things that that they're insecure about, what you are doing is you are causing a trust issue to develop. There's a seed, right, of mistrust placed there. So now I'm sitting up here thinking, so if you would say that about me, then what else would you say about me? And so now, instead of me being open and transparent with you, my spouse, right, I am now closing myself off. I am now concerned with how do I really look, because they may use that against me at some point in the game or in the argument or in the intense moment of fellowship. And when I begin to close myself off, then I only end up going deeper within. And so now things that I normally would have opened up and spoken to you, because we're supposed to be able to share our fears, our regrets. We ought to be able to share with each other those dreams and the hopes and the disappointments with each other. But if we can't do that because you're making fun or you're exposing something of me to an outsider, then guess what's going to happen? I'm going to have the issues of trust with you. And it's going to be hard to get it back, because I'm always going to be looking. Okay, what they gonna say this time? How they gonna, who they done told? Because now, especially if I hear it coming from a third party, what you mean?
That's right.
How would they have known that unless?
I know that you and your girlfriend talked about everything. She's your favorite. And if you're laughing when I come into the room, and then you're shushing her, and she continues to try to stifle a laugh, you know, a person may begin to kind of develop a little complex, you know, concern. What about our secrets? And so, you know, these things can be passed on in such a subtle manner. And we have to be able to talk about things in confidence to keep. My parents used to say all the time, keep home affairs at home. Right? Keep your home affairs at home. Now, nowadays, it may be that kids do need somebody to talk to because they got some crazy mamas and daddies. I'm not saying
you ain't never
they've always been there.
Yeah.
Everybody's always had somebody crazy in their family. But nowadays, good Lord, people need somebody they can talk to.
Y'all, we have a lot of issues. We have things like I've been molested, raped, or abused by a family member, and I go and tell someone that should be there to protect me, someone that should be shielding me, and that person says to me, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that never really happened. Oh, maybe it was something that you thought, but it wasn't really what was going on." And so now the next time it happens, you remember the last time. And so now you're like, well, maybe I am tripping. Maybe it isn't that bad. And so you go along with the abuse of yourself. And now you can't even trust yourself. Because now your perceptions have been invalidated. They didn't mean that. That's not what they was trying to do, or whatever the case might be. And so now, not only do I not trust other people, but I don't trust myself. And when I can't even trust me, then that means that's going to be hard for me to trust God. God, why did you allow this to happen? Y'all see how that thing works and how we can mess ourselves up?
And that's how people end up being mad at
God.
Or out of speaking terms with God, as John mentioned earlier, when you're wondering. But these are real issues that people deal with in life. And we need somebody in life who can be serious about some things. Because there's some people who are not serious about anything. Anything is joking material, joking matter. Elder says, you going in the corner. Right? So there's some things that happen with people, or issues that they have with body or whatever it is, that they have no choice in, that they can't change about themselves. And we have to love them through their hurt.
Yes.
Right? Now, you're not going to be able to cure all of a person's problems. You're not going to marry somebody who's going to be able to solve all of your issues or to take away all of your hurts, right? And so you have to love a person where they're at and help them through.
Help them through it. Hey, cousin.
It's
my cousin Shannon. Love you, darling.
Love you.
Those
girl.
are some powerful advices tonight. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate you all. So listen, guys. I know it's a lot to unpack, and there's a lot of people that are dealing with these very things. And so what we do is, you need an encounter session that's 15 minutes with Pastor G and myself. Go to marriagemakes3.com. There you'll be able to sign up. You can do it individually, or you can do it as a couple. Some of you all are dealing with infidelity. And listen, just because they don't want to come, don't mean that you don't need to go.
Come on.
Just because they don't want to come, don't mean you don't need to go, because you are there silently, just breaking yourself down. You're dealing with hurt. You're dealing with betrayal. You're dealing with all of these things. And I need you all to know that there is hope. There is help for you. But keeping it in, all that's going to do is going to end up oozing out on somebody. You're going to bleed on somebody that didn't cut you. Okay.
And so, you deserve better.
Yes.
That's one of the things that we're going to continually tell you. That you need to understand is that you deserve
absolutely because the next person that you get together with also deserves better.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
And you're going to have to deal with whatever it is that is going on with you, so that you can move on and have room for that person in your life.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank God. I thank God for my husband, because he is a great unpacker. I think we were married. I told y'all this before. I've been married for 2 years before I fully and completely was like comfortable being married to Gregory Dale. Okay. And it was some outside, a lot of outside stuff. It wasn't him. He was good, but he is a great unpacker. Some people are not good at unpacking. Okay. Some people cannot stand to have to deal with anything that they didn't cause. All right. And that's one thing, but he's got a heart that is bigger than life. And so it was easier for him. But even though he knew what he was doing, it still took me them 2 years. Okay. And so trust me when I say, I'm not telling y'all this just because we want y'all to come. I'm telling you this because I've dealt with these things. Love is when they help you unpack some baggage they didn't have. Come on, Kimmy, dog. They didn't help you pack. Yes. Y'all better take notes. Danielle says they really helped my relationship. I love you. And my cousin say, preach.
Love you, girl.
I love it. So honey, tomorrow when we come back, we're going to be talking about what?
We're going to talk about how do you begin to deal with those trust issues. And we've already kind of cracked that a little bit tonight. We're going to expose it in greater detail
tomorrow. Okay.
Don't forget your free 15-minute encounter session. We'd love to talk with you about your most pressing concern, particularly tonight in the area of trust issues.
Yes.
If you're having trouble trusting, releasing, letting others in, and you know that is the key to your having a quality relationship in the future, take advantage of the free 15-minute encounter session where we talk about that and give you some strategies that is going to help you to get through it. We're going to drop a lot of information tomorrow night, so make sure that you're in here with us. Join us. Get ready to tell somebody about it. If you know somebody who might benefit, go ahead and invite them.
Yes. Let them know. Inbox it to them. Share the broadcast. She said, I need my free 15. You don't have 15. You don't have 35, 45, 55 minutes. What are you talking about, Kimmy doll? All right. John says you made the bishop suffer for 2 whole years.
No, Bishop.
He didn't try.
It wasn't like that.
Suffering.
No,
come on.
I ain't
you got to suffer sometimes.
I suffered.
Trust me, they help me. They play no games at all. If your relationship needs help, go talk to Pastor Michelle. Oh, they will help you and will not regret it at all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nabia, for inviting someone to the broadcast and letting them know that we are here Tuesday through Thursday between 9:30-ish Central Standard Time. And again, I want to remind you all, hey, Dr. G, love you, sir. I want to remind you again that if you have not yet gone over and checked out our blog, this is something that we do on marriagemakesthenumber3.com. And we ask you to go and check, what do men look for in a woman? It's an article that's there. It's available for you, along with several other articles, whether it's before or after I do. Some of it deals with divorce, remarriage, things of that nature. But there's a comment section on what do men look for in a woman. We would love for you to go over, drop your comment so that we can deal with this and talk about it. And there's a whole article there. So if you don't know, you're really looking for the answer, go over and find what do men look for in a woman. Listen, guys, we are so appreciative that you guys come to be with us. We are here giving you tools, information, knowledge, understanding. Well, we can't understand for you. We can give you the information. We can't understand for you. But we want you to know that this is what we do. We are here before and after I do, everywhere in between. You're dealing with families that are mixing together. We've done it all. And this is how we minister to those that are outside of our local church. All right. So please, sir, please, ma'am, check us out. marriagemakesthenumber3.com. Y'all helping with spending too. What are we talking about? You're talking about with your finances. Yes, we do offer financial help when it comes to families coming together, doing your budget, seeing where your money is being spent, dealing with how do we come together with our finances. We do all of that, especially if you are with us one-on-one. We have the SYMBIS, the Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. That's something, it's amazing. You can now take the SYMBIS even if you are not in a relationship. You can take it for yourself and it will give you insight into who you are, what you like, all sorts. I mean, it's like 24 different places that the SYMBIS kind of gives you insight into yourself. And it's super accurate. It's amazing how accurate it is. So you can also find that at marriagemakesthenumber3.com. I told you some of them looking for their mama. Listen, I don't know. She said, because some people need help. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Apostle Nabia. We appreciate you hanging out with us tonight as well. So listen, guys, we'll be back tomorrow night right here around about 9:30-ish. Okay. Yes. Come and meet us. We'll be certainly happy to see you once again. And listen, invite someone. All right. Yeah. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
So y'all know what we always say here.
God loves you and we love you, and ain't a thing you can do about it. Up in here.
What's the name of the blog again? What do men look for in a woman? What do men look for in a woman? And you'll be able to find that at marriagemakesthenumber3.com. Once you get there, you will see at the top, there is a place called Home Services. And the third button over is the blog. Okay. You can find it there. And please, ma'am, please, sir, we would love to hear what you have to tell us. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. And the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you,
and give you his peace. Good night. Thanks for joining us, everybody.